Yeah, please
Wait,
carry on.
Sure, Gaurav, when you open the document, you could open it in PowerPoint, right?
Uh,
Hello?
yeah.
Yes,
I can,
yes.
because I can only open it in Google Docs. How do I open this in the PowerPoint app?
No,
Uh,
no, this was in the Google Doc itself. It looks like PowerPoint, but it's in the Google Doc. Google
Okay, okay.
Slides, basically.
I was struggling a bit with editing, but yeah, fine. Okay. So in terms of structure, let's just think through the structure a bit. So first of all, let's talk about the entire solar energy space, right? The entire solar energy value chain. Right. So that comes up, I think, a bit in slides. You have it somewhere in the deck already, I think. Yes. So that somewhat reflects in slide 5, right? So what we'll talk about in solar energy value chain is, say, things like the entire solar energy space can be divided into 5 segments.
okay.
Device manufacturers, solar farms or solar energy generators, and then solar energy storage, solar energy transmission,
Hmm.
and exchanges. Right? Could be more, but something along those lines. Right. So that is an overview of the entire solar energy value chain. And then in subsequent 4 or 5 slides, if there are 4 segments, then in subsequent 4 slides or 5 slides, I mean, it does not have to be restricted by the number of slides, but then in the subsequent slides, we can do a deep dive on each of those spaces.
Hmm.
Right, something similar to what you have here, right? For example, in solar energy generation, you could talk about photovoltaic systems and concentrated solar power systems, and then you talk about why photovoltaic system is better, and then you talk about market shares.
Yeah, so like we have to lay down the entire supply chain and then specifically discuss on each of the topics.
Yes, right. I think that is and then we also talk about end user markets in the next segment. So segment 1 will be the entire solar energy value chain, and then we talk about the entire solar energy value chain, and then segment 2 will be end user markets, right? So end user markets, and then finally we can talk about geographical spread and those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm just taking some running notes. I mean, just for
yeah.
reference.
Go
So,
ahead.
so basically, you will have segment 1 as value chain,
Yes.
and segment 2 is. Do you have it somewhere? I mean, maybe you can
No,
also send.
I was just creating it on the fly, but
Maybe you can send out a picture of it in the WhatsApp group also.
yeah,
Once you are,
I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that.
because yeah, then we have that as a reference.
Cool. I'll take the picture and then send it across in the group. That's fine. Okay. Don't worry about this note. I'll send out a picture. Okay.
All right, good.
After this, so when we are looking at each of those spaces, right? So let's say when we look at generation, then we cover all the stuff that you were covering in where was it? I think you were talking somewhere about manufacturing materials, slide 10.
Yes.
Right. So this will be a deep dive on the first section, right? How are solar modules or solar panels manufactured, module manufacturing, right? So that the deep dive slides on that will. So this slide 10 forms a part of the deep dive on the first section, right? And then in terms of product space, I know you have like laid it out, but then we need to split the product space by the part of the value chain that product forms a part of, right? Okay, so I think structure-wise, this was the only feedback I had, and also like think a bit about how to position these slides, right? So, for example, in slide 6, I think it was slide 6. Yes, in slide 6, there's a lot of technical terms which a layman would not understand, right? I mean, we understand amongst us because we have spent a significant time on the space, or we spent a week or two studying the space, but this a layman would not understand, right? Someone, let's say, who invests in cotton or oil suddenly wants to move to solar wouldn't understand this, right? So let's just make sure that those folks understand this as well.
Can
And
I just ask some questions? So when you say they won't understand, they would want us to kind of, I mean, what do you want? You want all of these terms, say for example, solar receiver or steam generator, just to have one paragraph each or something around
no,
it,
no,
right?
no, not a paragraph, just maybe just a footnote
Okay.
or
Yeah.
Okay. Could this also be references to various, maybe good quality YouTube videos where they explain each of these items,
yeah, that's
publicly
fine. But
available
someone who,
stuff?
yes, agree that we
Okay,
can
got it.
do. But
Got it.
in this document also, someone who does not want to move to that video, someone who wants to go
Hmm,
through the flow of this doc first, he should also be
hmm.
able to figure out from this doc what it is, right?
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Right. So, for example, what's a condenser? Like, if we weren't mechanical engineering students, we wouldn't know what a condenser is.
Yeah. All three of
So,
us are mechanical engineers. Do you know that?
yeah, I sent us those
Yeah, yeah.
LinkedIn ping. Yeah,
So essentially, I also
cool. So,
like
just these
had
kind of
one
stuff.
question regarding this. Like when I lay down this entire supply chain, do I need to focus on the market that it is pertaining to? Like the manufacturing facilities for India and China would be different because they would have different demands based on import and export. So do I need to lay down based on different geographies, or do I need to give a generalized analysis of that?
Can you go a bit deeper into that? What do you mean by
Yeah, just like
value chain would be
let's say
different in?
for China. So China is essentially into a lot number of exports in this case, right? So it would be catering to the demands of the international stage. But India essentially is like necessitates its own national demand over the international export because it is not quite up with the pace of technology in the international stage till now. So both the demands and the manufacturing facilities, the technology used would be different. So do I need to specify on those or a generalized view of how this entire value chain is like?
Uh, I think let's focus tremendously on India, right?
Okay.
And then if we need to add call outs or a follow-up slide on how China or the advanced countries are different, we should do that. So if you see, so the intent is twofold, right? So one is to create a document which everybody can understand. And following this document, we will create subsequent documents which will be deep dives into listed companies in India which specifically cater to solar energy, right? So let's say highlight here that for example, solar panel manufacturing, right? Or solar module manufacturing or ingot manufacturing, whatever we call that. So solar module manufacturing, you can say that these are the three technologies that India is currently using. The most advanced nations like China and or US would use a different technology like this. And this is how they're different, or let's say this is how the return on assets vary using these technologies, or there's a quality difference between these two technologies, and India needs to catch up with the global technology in this case. Right. So keep your focus, like we will always deep dive into India whenever we're looking at a space, but then we also mention if the Indian technology is lagging behind globally or if we are leading globally in terms of cost. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Do we want to quickly do a page turn on this document, or is that not necessary? Because I think I've gone through this document. Gaurav, have you gone through this document, or
Yeah,
do you
I've
want?
gone through this document. What is not clear to me is, I mean, I think we are giving Ashutosh a global picture, but I think let's have some smaller deadlines or smaller targets, right? So
Yes.
I was thinking, like, can we have some sort of a timeline or priority wish list? Because then I think Ashutosh's college has also started, so he has to kind of manage his activities. So maybe if we have like 2 week sprint or something like that, so in every 2 week we target, say, x amount of, or some parts of the equation
Yeah,
instead of,
Yeah. Should we have a weekly target around where we want to
yeah,
reach?
yeah, that would work.
weekly, I would like to have, Ashutosh, what would be preferable to you, weekly or
Yeah,
bi-weekly
like
targets?
weekly would be good
I mean,
because like then the targets would be shorter and I would have my time managed because if we stretch bi-weekly, then uh, there might be other things that come up on the way. So I won't be able to.
sorry, not bi-weekly, I wanted to say like fortnightly. Sorry,
Yeah.
like every 2 weeks. Yeah.
So I think
So
weekly would be
I'm so
better
sorry.
for me because then the targets would be shorter and I would be able to.
Sure. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Clear. I think then we meet every Sunday at this time, and we kind of do a check whether you've achieved that. And in between, I connect with you in the stand up. So you join 2 days in the stand up, right?
Yeah, yes, that works
Two
fine.
days, and you also give the entire team some idea how you're kind of working
Yes,
on this
that
one.
works fine. Yeah.
Right. Perfect. Perfect.
And I can connect anything in midweek as well, but it would be late. So around. So let's say if my time I connect around 9, then 10 until 1, around 1:30. It would almost be 1:30 your time. So like generally, are
Or
you up at that
mornings?
time? Or
Shadal, mornings?
midnight. Yeah.
No, mornings. Are you available in the early morning? No.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Mornings would be mornings would be a stretch. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so back to the topic then. Then for next week, let's focus on just two basic things, right? So first, let's get the overall structure of the document in place. So they move around some of the slides and those kind of stuff. This shouldn't take long. I'll share across the wireframe, right? Or what should be the flow? And then next, I think the first part is module manufacturing, right? So if we divide the solar energy space, it would be module manufacturing, it would be solar farms and energy storage, and then it would be energy transmission and energy exchange, right? That is the broad structure, right? Or am I
Yeah,
missing
yeah.
something?
That's all.
More or less, you're on spot.
Yeah. So let's focus on module
Okay.
manufacturing, right? Which is the first part, and then let's see or give it a push from your end on module manufacturing, and if you want to, we can touch base once on Thursday,
Yes,
if
like
that's okay.
I'll let you know.
But it would have to be. Yeah, sure. Let me know. Let me know whenever you're comfortable connecting, right? But let's do module manufacturing. Let's focus on materials, which is like polysilicon and the other materials that you got. Let's focus on ingot manufacturing. Let's focus on wafer, cells, solar glass, solar films, and these are all the stuff that we need to deep dive
Yeah, so
into when we're
essentially
looking
what
at
I
the
was
solar modules.
wanted to ask is that so do we want a detailed like industrial analysis of how is it manufactured, or are we diving deep into what is the market size of each of them, and are we looking into what are the price points at which they are selling and all?
The second one. So we're looking at what's the market size of each of them, why one is preferred over the other, and those kind of stuff. We do not need like very technical stuff. We need mostly the
Okay.
financial stuff. So think in terms of an investor, like
Shadal,
what
I
an
have a
investor.
question. So when you say for example silicon module manufacturing, right? Don't you want to look at the ancillary companies that get benefited out of this? So for
Yes.
example, in the process, I mean, if we have one slide, say for example, which gives a flow chart of how, say for example, I'll give you an example with respect to alloy steel. So in
Mhm.
steel strip wheels, they have a flow chart which shows all the alloy steel, how it is manufactured. And there are many businesses which sort of comes and gives those sort of machines. Say for example, your X-Pro, their Bruckner is a very interesting play because Bruckner is
Mm.
giving those, uh, rolling mills. So
Mm.
don't you want to see those part of it? Maybe.
Yes. So when I say like don't focus on technology, I don't mean like
Hmm,
totally not talk about how it is done, right? But like don't dive very deep into it is what I
okay.
mean, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
So then do touch upon that. I mean, for example, module manufacturing, how is it done? Have at least half a slide for that, and maybe some key machines if there are some, you know, very sophisticated machines involved
Yes.
over there. I think that would be a good
Okay.
information to have.
I
Okay.
think he has something around.
Hmm?
Let me send you a good example of what kind of technical. Um, uh, Ashutosh, you would have seen SOIC videos, right? You know what SOIC is, right?
No.
I can yeah. I mean, what do you want? I mean, I have that
Just to give an
entire
example, like
subscription.
if you go through any one of their videos, there's very little technical stuff they touch upon, and then they move to the
Okay.
financials, right?
Yeah.
So like that would be the level of technical stuff I would want you to touch upon. So for example, when you're talking of module manufacturing, you talk about the entire process, and then you could just touch upon how an ingot is made from a polysilicon, right? Or how a solar wafer is made from the ingot. Like just touch upon, let's say, maybe 1 or 2 slides on the entire technology stuff, and then 8 or 9 slides on the financials and which one is better, what's the return on assets looking like, what's the gross margins in each space and those
Yeah.
kind of stuff, right?
Sure.
Right. Also, when we are approaching this, do not restrict yourself to information that is available. So first create a structure around what do we need in these deep dives, right? For example, when we look at module manufacturing, let's say you're talking about polysilicon, right? And then you're stuck on what kind of margins do polysilicon companies make, and you're struggling to find that information in a listed forum or a publicly available space. Just keep that placeholder in the slide, right? Don't take it out because the information is not available. What we might want to do later, we'll make a list of all the stuff that we do not know, and then we will find some expert on LinkedIn that we would want to connect to, or we'll find some expert through any other forum, right? So Gaurav and myself can like
Yeah.
pitch in for that.
Hey, Shadul, can you provide a structure for such? I mean, say for example, every topic, say ingot, right? There would be a
Hmm.
set of questions or a minimum set of questions that you would like to know, right? Can you give that structure?
Yes. I'll share the entire structure of the deck along with the structure for the in each deep dive.
So that actually makes, I mean, that also brings in focus to Ashutosh, because he can then go from in a question answer format. I mean, like you said, right? What is the margin which polysilicon companies make? Now that is going to be his key question, and then he can go deep into geographies and types and all of those things, right?
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Agree.
And definitely, Ashutosh, I mean, try to have as much questions as possible, because there are a lot of experts in value picker as well. We know them. Even Donald is well connected with Wadi technology guys and all. So we could reach out to them and ask these questions. There is a forum we have where I could ask these questions very
Okay, sir. I'll make a
specifically.
broad list of what all questions.
Yeah. Just go wild.
Yeah.
I mean, think of anything. We can later remove what is not necessary. Okay, then Shaudal, I think module manufacturing is like a sub chapter, and probably it will go on for 2 to 3 weeks, wouldn't it?
Yes, agree.
So
Module manufacturing will go on for a while because it's pretty complicated. It's very technical, and that is where the money is my sense.
yeah, I would also like to find out. I mean, do you also want to find out about the transportation? There's a guy who works at Mercer. Maersk, how do you pronounce it? MERS.
Mark.
Maersk. Yeah,
Oh.
so I know him. He gives us all this information about shipments and what is the cost and problems, etc. Okay.
But you mean transportation of what? Transportation of?
I mean, he has a general idea how much is coming every, say, month to India. I mean, in general. I mean, you can also get it from export data, but because he's a part of those ships, and he also has an idea what is going into each of these containers. He just has this general view that right now, say for example, import of lithium-ion batteries from China is, say, certain amount, and that has been rising. I mean, more containers are filled with those batteries now. So he gets that feeling, sort of, I mean, before the data comes in.
Yeah. I mean, in import export we can touch upon later. So I think that comes a bit later, right? Once we have covered
Okay.
all the spaces.
All right.
Cool. I think let me create the structure and then I'll share the picture on the group. That will make things a bit clear. But otherwise, I think content-wise, this like from a depth of content, this slide looks good. Like we're going in the right direction.
Yeah. Yes.
This is calendar week 30 or 31. I'm confused.
Let's just call it the week, no? I mean, let's just call it the week of 1st August.
Somebody's blaring his horn of. Okay, first week, August, first week.
Today's 30th July, right? Yeah. So let's call it the week of 1st August.
No, actually, that becomes complicated. Calendar week is more standardized. Wait. I'll maintain that. I generally remember this, but somehow this today. I'll update this one. No problem.
Cool. Okay. So by next week, let's just try to like deep dive into any one part of the module manufacturing, right? So it will most probably be polysilicon and what are the materials are there and those kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So silicon wafer, ingot, those kind of stuff. Yeah. So by next week, let's try to deep dive into that.
Yes.
Cool.
All right.
And don't hold on to any blockers for these Sunday calls, right? If you have a blocker, send across a text on WhatsApp, and one of us will respond to that.
Yeah, this is a bit time sensitive. So
So the aim is to complete this document within 2.5 months, and then refine it over 1 week or the next week and a half. So within 3 months, they should be like in a position where a serious investor can look at this. Okay, and also like take care of formatting. We of course we'll look at this later, but then it's good if you keep that in mind. Shurushit. So as in like the same font, the same font size, those kind of stuff, right? So the basics.
Yes. I'll look at it.
okay. You have anything, Shodal? You want?
Yeah.
to say?
Another thing is let's not copy paste pictures from other docs. Let's avoid doing that. So for example,
Yes, so
slide
I
6.
have done replacing one of those graphs into after putting the same data into
Hey.
Excel, I'll do super respective.
Hey, Shodal,
I know.
I have a viewpoint. Wait.
Shodal,
Shodal, I have a viewpoint. Let him copy for now, right? Let him
Huh,
copy for
huh,
now.
Yeah.
If these pictures are good enough, we can make it ourselves,
Yeah,
or we can get somebody. I mean, we can get somebody to do it.
Got it.
Yeah,
Cool. Okay.
but do add
Yeah,
the
yeah, I'm
source.
adding that.
Okay. Yeah, you are doing that, I guess.
Okay, so I think let's keep pictures. We can replace the pictures with our own PowerPoint diagrams
Yeah.
later on.
Simplified
Okay.
diagrams, etc.
Yeah.
Shall we go over the slide once, just
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that you're not missing anything?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so these I personally feel these I mean restructuring of it, this could be done maybe 2-3 weeks or 2-3 subsection later, because now since we are focused on module manufacturing, let's not get too much into what we want to do, etc. Just talk about module manufacturing and associated companies.
Yes. Before we
This
get into module manufacturing, there will be one slide on the entire value chain, right? So module manufacturing. Yeah.
no,
Got
do
it.
you want to do the value chain right now, or we could do it at the end? No, what do you
No,
think?
there should no. I think the first thought is the entire value chain. So let's not. So what is the chain of thought? The chain of thought is this is the entire supply chain, and then we're looking at the first segment, that's module manufacturing.
I mean, that chain is already known, as you said, like 4 components done, right? Or do you
No,
want
no,
him
but
to go deep dive into it?
yeah, I'm saying let's not skip that step first. Let's do that because if it's known, it doesn't take long to, right?
Okay, then those two items. Then these numbers for now, I think we should. I mean, if you get any information about market sizes, maybe add it, but don't worry too much right now. We could work on this one, right, Shradal?
Yeah, we
Or-
keep all these slides, right? We push them
Hmm.
down and then we just structure it the way we discussed, right?
Yeah.
I'll send that across. I'll update the PPT with the same.
Okay. So
The
industry
thing with updating
categorization.
the PPT is the thing with updating the PPT is like if I keep a placeholder on one side, I'll probably just create an index sort of a slide on top, right? Which is slide number 3. And then I'll put in the topics that we want to cover, but then don't restrict yourself to 1 slide per topic or 2 slides per topic. Like go as deep as possible.
Yeah.
We want this to be a very detailed document.
This index wala thing is very important. I think Shradal, you should do this one.
I'll pick it up. I'll finish it within
And
1 hour.
we
of
can
ending
also.
this call.
Okay, cool. Because this actually gives a guideline.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then there is this technology which we discussed. We
Yeah.
have to dump it down a little bit. This also we have to dump it down. These, I mean, pictures for now, okay, good. But we'll probably try to gather these information from various, discussions, maybe con calls and all. They will also have these information available, citing those and maybe laying it out. Yeah, so it's okay. Manufacturing of solar module, yeah, one overview slide, and then you go into the module manufacturing as we discussed. And then, sorry, product space, this we deprioritize right now, right?
Yeah, so this will come in phases. So let's deprioritize this right now. Yeah.
This is deprioritized. End user deprioritized. Supply chain, again, right now you're going to use this one, right? Supply chain would be,
Yes.
I think, up there.
Exactly. So this is going to be the first slide.
Okay.
Yeah. So supply chain, then raw material extraction. Perfect. This is very good. I mean, I like this one.
Yeah, exactly. This is how it is going to start, right?
Also try to use your pictures. I mean, if you understand it better, maybe yeah.
Yeah.
Get some.
So as you said, Gaurav, right? So let's keep it in a copy paste or snapshot picture format for now,
Hmm.
and then like 3 weeks or 4 weeks down the line, we can get another guy to format it or like create.
Yeah. I'll do that. I mean, let's not burden Ashutosh with those
Ashutosh does not
activities.
need to like waste his time with formatting and all this stuff. Let's just focus
I'll
on
get
content.
somebody.
Yeah.
Then current market landscape. Okay, so this is something which Ashutosh is maintaining. This is his working document. We can
Hmm.
look into it, but I mean, it's okay. He said that he's going to use this and work on this one, and then push those items which is I mean ready into these slides.
Okay, perfect.
And then this is my wish list. I've been adding something that I keep on reading, and then I feel like these should be a part of it. So, for example, cybersecurity in grid, peak demand management. These are some of this is a software topic actually. There are companies
Hmm.
who are operating over here. Then components of the grid in distribution and inverter. Over here, I'm very interested into this company called RIR Power. So they are working with silicon carbide. These are silicon carbide ingots, so they would be basically used in MOSFET and IGBTs, which go into these inverters for switching. Right? India imports most of it, but now there's one big player who's working on this. Recently,
What's the name of the company?
RIR Power, Rotan Shah.
ARI.
RIR.
Okay, RIR Power Electronics.
That one. Interesting company. It has been in the ASM list for now, but I'm taking position in that.
What list?
ASM.
What is-
That SEBI puts or NSE puts ASM in stocks which move up very high.
Okay. So
Microcap stocks, those
yeah,
stuff.
got it, yeah.
I mean, no problematic stuff. I mean, and we have people who's connected to Harshad Mehta, who's the owner of this company. I also know some people. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. All right then.
Okay, yeah, I think that's about it from my end about all the changes. I'll put in the I'll put in the index slides, right?
Okay.
Hmm.
Then let us know, and Ashutosh, then we'll connect maybe in between week to see how the progress is. Okay.
Yeah.
And you also keep updating, and let's see how it works out. Cool.
Yeah, perfect. And Ashutosh, like anytime you think so like don't feel like your like everything is on your shoulder to drive this, right? Anytime you feel you need to lean on any of us, you need any help, anything, like just feel free to reach out. We're just a WhatsApp text away.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Cool. Okay then. Let's catch up. By the way, Ashutosh is in IIT Kharagpur. Do you know that, Shardal? So are you
Yeah.
coming to Calcutta anytime? Recent times.
So there's a cousin's wedding in November. I might be in Kolkata in November.
Will you stay till December? I'm coming in December.
No, December is a bit tricky. I need to travel to US in December for a sister-in-law's wedding.
Okay, cool. Okay, enjoy.
Cool.
All right.
But
Bye-bye.
anytime, like let's keep in touch closely over WhatsApp as well. And yeah, let's so
Yeah.
the WhatsApp talks have been very admin right so far. Let's try to like move to like topic based conversations on WhatsApp, right? So for example, if you're stuck on a slide, let's say slide 7 or slide 8, and you feel that you need some feedback or thoughts on this, just ping on the group that Shautal will take a look at slide 7 and let me know what you think.
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks,
Cool.
guys.
Chalo.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
again.
I'll also share the video with you, Ashutosh, okay? If you need
Yeah.
that for
Yeah.
reference. All right. Chalo. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye, guys.